everybody, this is Kathlyn Hinesley with Exploring Dimensions for All, and today I'm going to be reading Chapter 6 of my book, Welcome to Infinity, Exploring Ancient and Modern Techniques for Collaborating with Otherworldly Beings. Okay, so Chapter 6 has no footnotes. All right, guides and protectors. People in a variety of cultures have long believed in the coexistence of helping spirits. These spirits are thought to come to the aid of individuals in time of need. Personal guides might be seen in dreams or waking visions, and may appear as human ancestors, totem animals, or a variety of other spiritual entities, depending on an individual's cultural heritage. Young people in many American Indian tribes participated in ceremonies and vision quests designed to help them identify and form a relationship with their own helping spirits. These protective spirits were believed to be helpful in ensuring safety and were thought to greatly improve one's chances for success in adult life. Such spirits would help a person to maintain his or her link with the spirit world and thus ensure continuing access to knowledge that might otherwise be obscured in waking life. The concept of personal cosmic messengers is common to many spiritual and religious traditions. Protective spirits are, of course, known as guardian angels in the Christian tradition. Angels are also important to followers of Islam. The Muslim holy book, the Quran, details teachings related to the Prophet Muhammad by an angel. Followers of many modern New Age philosophies have embraced the concept that individuals receive protection and guidance from spirit guides. Various workshops and seminars now utilize visualization exercises to help people make contact with their own cosmic helpers. The consensus among believers seems to be that people can be more successful when they have help from spirits residing in unseen realms. These spirits are believed to possess the ability to see through and/or into situations at a distance in space or time. I feel fortunate to have made contact with a personal spirit guide so early in my life. The relationship I formed with Glenda during my teenage years gave me unshakable faith in the benevolence of the universe at a time of great change and uncertainty. Sadly, contacting Glenda became more difficult as I neared my 20s. At 18, I began to meditate daily to build my spiritual energy. This seemed to enhance my ability to tap into voices coming from the spirit realm. Unfortunately, like a radio receiver near a large city, my ability to pick up numerous transmissions at once sometimes came at the expense of clear receptivity. Not all of these transmissions were positive. Sometimes I'd call Glenda's name and hear hideous male laughter or a gruffy voice. When I did break through, the messages I heard weren't coming in as clearly as they had previously, and I never felt sure about whether I had reached Glenda or some other inhabitant of the spirit realm. At 19, I made a difficult decision. A friend who received guidance from the spirit realm herself explained that continuing my attempts to contact Glenda could, under the circumstances, lead to the attraction of negative entities that might act to hinder rather than promote my spiritual development. With regret and sadness, I said goodbye to Glenda and thanked her for all the help she had given me. Although I missed the frequent and regular contact I once had with Glenda, I took solace in the memories I had of the spirits who had assisted me before my birth. Certainly they were there somewhere, watching over me and protecting me in life. A little less than a year after my contact with Glenda ended, I heard an unfamiliar voice. "Don't go to work," it said loudly. What is this nonsense, I wondered. I was halfway up the stairs of the underground trolley station and 2 pieces of public transportation too late to want to turn around. "Go home, don't go to work," the voice insisted. It sounded so serious I thought I'd better try the idea on for size. If for some reason I do decide to follow my subconscious mind, which is suggesting that I may be extraordinarily lazy today, if I for some reason do decide to follow my subconscious mind, which is suggesting that I be extraordinarily lazy today, what will happen? I wondered. No, it's out of the question, I thought. I'll be betraying my best friend. She'll be alone in the office because the boss is out of town, she's pregnant, and might not be feeling well again. She helped me get this job in the first place, and no, I wasn't going to do it. I was going to finish walking up those stairs. Turn around and go home. Don't go to work today, the voice insisted again. I wouldn't take no for an answer, but I wouldn't take no for an, it wouldn't take no for an answer, but I wasn't going to let some voice push me around. What was I, crazy? In spite of my resolve, my legs felt like lead. Not physically, but in a mental sort of way. The way one feels when one is walking upstream against the current. I knew I was walking in the wrong direction. Moments later, I arrived at the office feeling a bit odd. I greeted my friend and began filing, typing, and sorting through paperwork. Shortly thereafter, we were flooded with calls from clients, business partners, and friends. Well, no, we haven't heard anything, I heard my friend say. Why are we still here? Why? What's wrong? No one's told us to leave. I'm sure it must be all right if no one's told us to leave. No, we haven't talked to the boss. He's in Los Angeles, so we can't ask him if we can leave. I'm sure it's okay. I walked over to my friend's desk nervously, a bit like a frightened rat that had just stolen some cheese and been found out, and was now under very real threat of death. Everybody's saying there's been some kind of chemical spill, she said, but, she continued, we must not be in that part of downtown. I mean, no one's told us to leave, so it must be okay, she asserted again. I wanted to run now without stopping, right down the hall to the elevator. I wanted to run back down those same subway stairs I'd forced myself to come up. How could I have been such an idiot? It was probably too late. Which way would I run anyhow? I didn't know where the spill was exactly. I could run right through it if I wasn't careful. My friend was staring straight at me as I was staring at the door. Let's open some windows, she said. I think the chemical spill was behind us, so that will air things out. I looked at her like she must be loony, but for some reason, which I still can't fathom, I went back to my desk and continued to type. At noon, the boss's sister called. Everyone's left downtown, she said. You really should go home. There's been a big PCB spill on Market Street. It's highly toxic. It causes cancer. I stared at the windows my friend had decided to open. They faced Market Street. Yes, it was time to go home. When I watched the news that evening, the screen was covered with men in bright orange suits and gas masks, spraying the streets clean. If you believe that you have been exposed to PCB, see your doctor, the newscaster advised. PCB is a known carcinogen. From that moment on, the spirit world, with all of its unknowns, seemed to offer a very real sense of safety. Somehow, from somewhere, the spirits were watching us. They could see us and knew what was going to happen. They could help us, if only we would listen. I vowed right then that I'd never again ignore a voice of warning. By the time I'd reached my early 30s, I'd grown accustomed to voices, making various suggestions. Sometimes they'd recommend that I call a particular friend or relative. At other times, a voice would simply advise me to spend some time reading a particular book instead of watching television. I knew these suggestions were friendly. When I followed them, things worked out well. As long as I didn't contact the spirit world myself, I thought, I'd be okay. When I wasn't trying to channel, I didn't seem to run into any confusing signals or negative entities, the way I had when I tried to contact Linda. If I heard positive suggestions or helpful warnings, I'd pay attention, I thought, but I'd never initiate contact with the spirit world myself. But then one day, I felt like I really needed help. My boss gave me a plane ticket to fly from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles to attend a fundraising event I'd helped to organize. As soon as I got the ticket, I began to feel nervous. Somehow, that ticket for that day at that time didn't feel safe. I wondered if I could change tickets, but guessed I was just being paranoid. As the flight drew closer, my anxiety increased. The day before I was to leave, I mentioned my uneasiness to a coworker. "There's something about this ticket that is making me nervous," I said. "I wonder if it's safe." I grew so uneasy that evening that I resolved to ask any spirit guardians that might be listening for help, for some sign as to whether or not I should cancel my trip or try to rebook my flight. I decided to ask the spirit realm for advice while doing map, an exercise to be discussed in chapter 17, I have that in brackets, which involves connecting with various beings who work to help improve your health. There was nothing in the formula for the exercise about making special requests. One was merely to connect with specific beings, describe one's health concerns, thank the beings for their assistance, and then disconnect from them. That was that. But this was an emergency, I thought. Surely I can ask them something while I have their attention. "Okay, folks," I said out loud. "I'm having a problem, and I'm wondering if you can help me. I'm getting a feeling about this plane, the one I'm supposed to take tomorrow, and I don't know if it's safe. And I don't think it's safe. And I'm ready to purposely miss my flight. Of course, my boss will be upset, but I don't feel safe. I don't want to be in danger, but I don't want to be paranoid either. So if you could just tell..." No, this whole thing. I'm going to have to go back and reread it. I'm so sorry. I've been stuttering a bit. Okay. "But this is an emergency," I thought. "Surely I can ask them something while I have their attention." "Okay, folks," I said out loud. "I'm having a problem, and I'm wondering if you can help me. I'm getting a feeling about this plane, the one I'm supposed to take tomorrow. I don't think it's safe, and I'm ready to purposely miss my flight. Of course, my boss will be upset, but I don't feel safe. I don't want to be in danger, but I don't want to be paranoid either. So if you could just let me know what I'm supposed to do, that would be great." I heard nothing in reply. So I ended the exercise and fixed myself some dinner. Then about an hour after I'd issued my plea for help, I heard something. The communication was short but substantial. Nonetheless, "It's been taken care of," a voice said simply. Instantly, I felt calm. I knew my prayers had been answered and that I'd be okay. When I arrived at the airport the next morning and gave my ticket to the agent, I got the confirmation I was looking for. "That flight's been canceled," she said. "We're rerouting all passengers to American Airlines." "What?" I asked, with my mouth dropping open. "The flight's been canceled," she repeated. "We're rerouting all passengers to American Airlines." "No," I said, "I mean, why? Were not enough tickets sold for that flight? Or was there some mechanical difficulty?" "We're putting passengers on another flight because of mechanical difficulties," she answered plainly. I was so excited I jumped 2 feet in the air. Thank you," I said enthusiastically, as if she had been the one to save me. That afternoon, I gazed out of the window of the American Airlines flight. I saw a rainbow sitting on the clouds. I knew once again that the worlds were intertwined. Human beings and spirits, the seen and unseen, were all working together. I will probably never again feel as safe as I did on that flight from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. Okay, folks, sorry about the stuttering. I have just recorded 3 chapters at one time, so my voice is getting a little tired. My concentration's waning a bit. Nevertheless, if you enjoyed that, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it, and please subscribe if you have not done so already. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you come back. Take care and have a wonderful day.